Hey, welcome back to the Spector Creative channel. I'm Scott Toy Guru Neitlich. If you've been watching this channel, I make a lot of videos about the toy industry because, well, I spent 25 years working in the toy industry on a whole bunch of different cool toy lines, and I like to try to point out different, truths about the industry and observations I've had, shall we say. But I'm also a family man, and two of the most important people in my life are my wife and daughter. And I want to bring my daughter into the video real quick. Honey, you want to just introduce yourself?
Dad, do I really have to say hi? Just doing one of your stupid YouTube videos?
I just want them to know that, you exist and you're a big part of my life and all that.
Fine. Hi. Can I get back to watching YouTube now?
But this video is going to be on YouTube.
Okay, well, that's not the stuff I watch.
All right. Thank you very much. You can go. All right. Take Kiki Cat with you.
I haven't had any videos about me made recently. This is just like, a guest appearance. Just saying. Me, Kiki Cat.
Okay, so why did I drag my daughter and her talking cat into a video? Well, because I want to talk a little bit about body image, and especially female body image. As a father of a young daughter, about to become a teenager in a couple years, I am very aware of how images in the world are seen by her as a reflection of female and male bodies. And I'm more aware of this, in a greater amount because I have a daughter. I remember a couple years ago when Dove ran their ad campaign featuring real women's bodies. While the campaign didn't last, it had a very strong message. And recently there has been a very big uptick in things like how Instagram is having a huge effect on teenage girls' body image. So again, as the father of a soon-to-be teenage girl, I'm very aware of this. And you're probably saying, okay, well, the objectification of males and females, but I will say especially females in advertising, is a long and twisted road. I mean, pick up any beer ad and you're probably going to see a scantily clad woman, working on selling that, but it also appears in women's magazines. It's not just ads aimed at men, but women's magazines are constantly telling women how they should look, and that skinny is the only way to look. All right. Why am I talking about this on a video channel that is about toys? Why am I getting into a discussion about body image and sexuality and, that type of thing? Well, there is one toy in particular that has quite a reputation as being, behind a lot of body images. And obviously we're talking about the original doll of them all, the Barbie doll. Even from her very humble beginnings, she struck quite a pose and had quite a figure that would be unachievable on a human being, although it's interesting that some human beings have actually tried to do this. Well, actually quite a few, having plastic surgery to look like Barbie, because the idea has been put out there that the Barbie doll represents the perfect form for a human female, which is ridiculous because she would actually collapse under her own weight. There are women who have done this to themselves, but if those actual dimensions would not hold a human being together. All right, so yeah, not a good idea. You don't want to look like an actual Barbie. Female humans are supposed to look like female humans, not playthings that little girls have. And Mattel has recognized this body image issue, and they've released Barbie in different body types over the years. Although I do have to say, in all fairness, if we're going to be pointing at Barbie and saying how much she focuses attention on the ideal form for a female, well, you do kind of have to look on the other side of the aisle and say, well, if, Barbie dolls are telling little girls what they need to look at, what in the world is He-Man telling to, little boys out there that, if they don't look like this, they're not going to be considered attractive? All right, I know, that's a whole YouTube video for another time, but food for thought, all right, before we're, tearing apart dolls and their influence. But we do need to talk about it. It is an important issue, and what I really want to talk about is why Barbie doll looks the way she does. And while as adults we tend to look at her as a image of, call it sexuality, you have to change your outlook and change your perspective to really understand this. And that's why I'm going to ask the audience to have kind of an ontological shift here and look at Barbie from a different angle. And I'm talking about the design angle. You see, Barbie wasn't born, she was made, she was designed, she was created by toy makers, and there are reasons, and there are engineering reasons behind that. So let's look at an example. Look at a manhole, right? Or a sewer cover, sewer grate, whatever you're going to call it. They're not just there to hide Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There is an actual engineering reason why manhole covers are round and not any other shape. And it's because a round manhole will not fall in on itself versus a square one will, and they are very heavy. And you don't want a manhole that's going to cave in on you if it gets tilted. Another great example is the Coke can. You might say, why, well, not just Coke, but any, soda can from a vending machine. Why is it the size that it is? Why is it exactly that size? I mean, you could put liquid in all sorts of aluminum cans from round to square. Why is it that it was chosen to be a cylinder? The human hand. It was designed around the human hand. It was designed so people could hold it easily and wrap their hand around it to take a drink. You can't do that with other shapes as easily. So there's design reasons behind so many things in everyday life. Another great example are playthings. All playthings. So whether they're aimed at adults or children, things that are played with are designed to be handled. Things like, well, look, chess pieces, for example. When you're playing chess, the reason most chess pieces are designed the way they are is so they can easily be picked up. I mean, especially even the knight has little, divots for the hand. But real playthings that are meant for children, and I know I'm talking to adult collectors on this channel, but things like, the Mr. Potato Head, if you will, the reason that they're shaped the way they're shaped and the holes are the size that they are and all the pieces is because it's all done based on the dexterity of children. Testing is done with tons of children to find out, the amount of pressure it takes for them to squeeze or pick something up. It's why He-Man toys are the size they are. They fit perfectly into a 5-year-old's hand. Toys are designed so scientifically, especially since the 1960s and 70s, where they really look at how toys are played with. And that is why Barbie is designed the way she is. She's designed to have the body shape she has so that kids can have an easier time dressing her. Pardon me for being blunt, but it's easier to dress a doll that has a lot of cleavage. All right, so looking at the history of dolls, before Barbie doll, there were paper dolls. That was basically how girls played dress up as far as a play pattern. And the dresses were pretty easy to put on the doll because you simply matched the dress up to the doll and you folded tabs over the back. Pretty easy way to keep a dress on a doll. The tabs held it in place. Well, when the handlers created Barbie, or rather when they stole Barbie from Lily, the doll from Germany, and just repackaged her in America, they wanted to make sure that girls had the same experience with dress-up dolls and with tabs that they could now have with a 3D doll. And that is why the Barbie doll was designed to have curves and to have, yes, a large chest and wide hips, because those specific dimensions were easier for kids to slip the dresses on and off. Without those features, it was very hard to dress the Barbie. She needed to have those features to keep the clothing on, because you weren't wrapping tabs around it, you were actually putting on a cloth outfit around a three-dimensional doll. So it had nothing to do with sexuality or body image or trying to project what girls should look like. It had everything to do with making it easy to physically play with the doll. And this tends to be missed, especially today when, for one, Barbie is very much an avatar for the imagination, and a lot of girls use Barbie to think about what they want to be when they grow up and how Barbie can be anything. And yes, she is absolutely sexualized. There are times when this happens. I'm not denying that. But if you look at the actual design of Barbie, why her body is built the way it is, skinny arms, large chest, wide hips, it's because it makes it easier for girls to play. It's as simple as that. It's just exactly like so many other toys. It starts in the design process. The idea that we look at this toy and then create a, sexual image around it is the way adults are looking at the toy. This is not the way children look at the toy. They play with it and they appreciate the features because it lets them play with the doll much easier, because now the clothing is easier to take on and off and enjoy what the doll is supposed to do. Thanks so much for checking out this video. Huge special thanks to my daughter and her talking kitty cat for making an appearance. And If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in suggestions in the comments below. Ring a bell, subscribe, all that stuff. It all helps the algorithm. And hey, the algorithm must be helped.